Senate Republicans delay their health care vote until after the July 4th recess, and pro-life leaders are closely monitoring the negotiations. The House of Representatives passed a health care bill in May with two major pro-life protections. It stops tax dollars from going to health insurance plans that cover abortion, and second, it defunds Planned Parenthood of more than $400 million tax dollars. The Senate version of the health care bill has pro-life protections, but the senators are under immense pressure to cave on these provisions. In Georgia, it's a pro-life victory despite Planned Parenthood pouring in over $700,000 into the state's special election. Karen Handel beat John Ossoff in the most expensive House race ever last week. Handel has a pro-life history. She is a former executive of the Susan G. Komen for the Cure and resigned because the group did not cut funding to Planned Parenthood, America's largest abortion provider that does not provide mammograms. We're joined now by Marjorie Dannenfelser, president of the Susan B. Anthony List, to break down the top pro-life news. Marjorie, thanks for being here.
I'm always loving this show.
The health care bill has been delayed. What's at stake here? What are you closely monitoring now?
Well, there are two top priorities for the pro-life movement in this bill, and that is the defund and reallocation of Planned Parenthood's resources to community health centers. The second is very important, not getting as much highlighting, and that is vital to the pro-life movement, that there be HIDE protections, that none of those funds be used to support health care plans that provide abortions. So this is vital. That piece of it we're still working on. The delay was okay.
Those HIDE protections are not getting as much attention as you mentioned. So often we hear defund Planned Parenthood, but there is more to it.
There is more to it. There's a good reason we've been hearing about Planned Parenthood because of the scandal and the horror that we've been seeing. However, when you think about the fact that Obamacare really was provided the biggest change and the biggest increase in abortion since Roe versus Wade. It still is the case. Over 1,000 plans cover abortions in this country. So when we're passing something new, we need to make sure that that money, our money, is not being used to take away the lives of unborn children. It's really that simple.
The House's version of the health care bill did contain these pro-life protections. Why is the Senate's version more at risk?
Well, it's very complicated, and it sounds inside the Beltway, but what it really comes down to is it's a type of bill in the Senate. The rules of the Senate and the rules of this bill say that it has to have a major budgetary impact. So the reason that the Hyde Amendment language can't stick to that one piece of it is that it's shown by the parliamentarian, or she believes that it doesn't have that. It's not a lack of will on the part of Republicans, no. It is now a matter of creativity, making sure that we draft this in a way that actually does protect taxpayers and unborn children.
I want to get your reaction now to Karen Handel's victory in Georgia. Planned Parenthood poured in more than $700,000, and she still won. What message does this send?
Well, I think the top line message is don't ever run with Planned Parenthood as your running mate. They're a terrible running mate. And why is that? Because of what you just said a minute ago. They have been exposed. Their scandal has been highlighted. It is very different from Planned Parenthood 10 years ago where nobody knew what they were up to. So much money was spent on the other side by Planned Parenthood. She was completely outspent. Wow. It was a very close race last time around, so this was not a kind of a watershed, obvious victory for a Republican in this district. They pinned everything on it, and they lost big time, and so did Planned Parenthood, and that is good news.
And Karen Handel has quite the pro-life history as well.
She does indeed. She wrote a book called Planned Bullyhood based on her experience when she was at Susan G. Komen. They decided to take those funds away from Planned Parenthood regarding mammograms because they weren't doing that job.
Right.
They viciously attacked Karen. They viciously attacked Susan G. Komen. What a great organization. And then she wrote about it. So they knew that she was public enemy #1 for Planned Parenthood. And guess what? What a victory that she revealed them in that book, but revealed them in her election.
We'll see what she does when she's here in Washington.
Can't wait.
Dannenfelser, thank you so much for your insight on this.
Thank you.